Welcome back, guys. I haven't recorded a video in a long time. I'm only recording it now because it's almost winter break in 5th grade, and I'm nearly 11, which is crazy, but I'm gonna go do some Minecraft Beta 1.7.3 stuff. Now, the first thing I'm gonna go show you is this world. In it, when the Corner Fartherlands becomes a corner at Fartherlands and the Corner Fartherlands, you might notice that this artifact, you might think that it's just a light version of one of these things, because that's like nearly identical, but it's not. It's actually a very slow diagonal line. And in a previous take of a video, my dad interrupted it, but I measured how long is the gap between two sections of this diagonal line, and it's 89 by 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's an 89 by 4 diagonal line, which is really odd. I've also been checking different areas of the Fartherlands for just different kinds to see which is like the steepest part of the Corner Fartherlands. What does it look like in the Corner Edge Fartherlands? So if I do this, now here's a slightly lower layer of it. And I noticed that there's this diagonal line which appears kinda tall. Another thing to notice is how sorry, I'm kind of sick. Well, in these lower layers of the Fartherlands, it's always like these things surrounding the Corner Fartherlands. That was my brother. Just ignore stuff in the background. And over here, I could see that here's another layer of it, but this is a more open layer, so you could see like a gap between all of the layers of it. So there's open space here. And if I go down even farther below, then I enter this layer, which isn't which isn't a lot of gaps. Also, after the Fartherlands, sometimes this set of Fartherlands sometimes changes, like over here, for example, which is kinda interesting. Here's another layer, and if I just turn off water damage, then I notice that there's a layer here. I can see that there's a kind of slow diagonal line here, which has a 1 block line in between each like in between this section of this diagonal line. And so if I go look at this side here, you can only actually see the kind of like bottom of these. And I've also found a way to observe the like fartherlands and the corner edge fartherlands like this. So here's what it looks like to see that layer, and I can see that it is like that. You can also, a way to break your world is to teleport to 2,147,483,500 and then render the chunks that are around you. After a few seconds, your game will crash because it loads in the chunks at t to the power 31. And but because there is enough time to actually load the farmlands that are visible, then that means that your world can save, which makes it makes you be stuck at the crashing zone. Wonder does F5 work out here? Oh wait, I just am not there. Now I'm gonna go check like another quadrant. This should be a different one, and over here it's the positive x negative z. One thing I've noticed about the Farlands is that the Farlands well, not exactly with the Farlands, it's just that the Farlands actually, it often repeats its own patterns. So there are these like areas of the Farlands, like for example here, and what you can notice in it is that it constantly switches through different kinds of lines. And one of these things becomes the shape of the farmlands. So if you look at it through a tunnel, you can see that the tunnel repeats in the distance. So if I go here if I go here, you can see that there's a lot of areas with this tunnel. Also, when the farmlands start, there's a chance that it completely changes within 4 blocks of the starting point of it. Like for example, here, this kind of reminds me of the 4 block strips of land that don't have any variation within the 4 blocks, which are very close to the edge farmlands and the corner farmlands. And I think that it's kind of similar to something like, where's it? An actual point to a corner farmlands. No, this cave doesn't lead anywhere. But over here, you can see that there are 4 block strips in it, like this. And over here there are like it's kind of similar to edge farmlands terrain, but these get more variation the farther away you are from the edge farmlands. And I thought it would just be kind of interesting. And so, like, for example, it's here. The farmlands changes without, like, a kind of smoothing thing within 4 blocks of the start of it. Which could cause something to look like this, where it looks like the farmland is changing without any smoothness between the details. Like all of a sudden, a set of a farmlands gets replaced with a different seed set of farmlands. I wonder what the corner farmlands looks like in this seed. Oh wait, there's an actual kind of thing. Wait, no. So in here, something interesting is that it actually generates some kind of variation here, which must mean that there's a diagonal line somewhere that is a gap between like regular generation, because that's how it always happens. Also, the thing I pointed out at the start of the video is where the diagonal line of a corner farmlands that looks kind of like a quarter edge farmlands artifact changing. Well, it does actually happen. So, like, over here, this object only starts at 927, while the rest of the things start at 8. Starts at, well, actually no, this is X. Well, this one only starts at 924. I mean, this artifact, it starts at 952, and this artifact starts at 924, which is a large gap. Also, in this set, I can see that the top kind of looks like the regular edge farmlands. And I wonder if I can find a lower set of the actual quarter farmlands. But if I don't, I will just switch to another edge. Okay, then I'll do another one. It should be another quadrant of it. And I can see that there's the same thing that I pointed out earlier in the video. But with the quarter farmlands, wait, this looks kind of similar to the terrain of the second set of the second quadrant that I showed you in this video. Now let me see the quarter farmlands. That doesn't seem that deep. The last quadrant I'll be showing you is... Wait, what? What just happened? What happened to the rendering? Oh, I know what happened. I teleported myself to 1,000 blocks. Over here, this is what it looks like, and I can see that it has a lot more thinner lines here with direct access to a lower layer. This area seems kind of steep, which looks pretty cool as I can actually see the edge of a quarter-inch fartherlands. But since I'm gonna go show you one last quadrant, it's this. The negative x, negative z one. This one actually looks kind of similar to the first quadrant that I did not show you. I saw a recent post from Alum A that the negative quadrants are mirrors of the positive quadrants, and so I think that does not only apply to the corner fartherlands, but also the edge fartherlands. And if I turn, and in the Fridgelands mod, the one that I'm using, if I turn the skill up really high, I can see that the fartherlands are the exact same on both, like, for example, positive x and negative x. I'm able to go right through them and just fill in the one block gap. That's quite interesting. Now, quarter fartherlands, I think that this should be similar to the first. And so I can see if this is actually true. And I wonder if it applies to the. Is my game just. Oh crap. I don't even know what's wrong with it. But I'm out of like memory, so I'm just gonna go show it really quickly right now. Oh wait, it's actually kind of different. I can see that it's much steeper here. Well, this is not like the regular quarter fartherlands. I guess that's something changed. And I'm gonna go check it out at like that hidden set of fartherlands. But I can actually see the sides of the quarter edge fartherlands. If I go check here, there isn't really much difference between the first set. I'm just gonna go check it out. Trailer for this again. Oh, I have an explanation. There's this diagonal. I almost sneezed. There's this diagonal line that cuts off the layer. And when I went to the x-axis, I didn't really notice it. So I just went on the side where that diagonal line affects the layer. And so that means that I should go here. No, actually. And I think that I should be able to see the edge of the Edge Fartherlands here, and that's correct. This looks really cool. I actually like these floating sky parts. So, that's it for the video. A little seed thing here at the end. Now, bye.